Yes, I'm Bob Miller representing Animation Scoop, and I'm delighted to talk to these three fine actors.
Hello,
And that looks like Mallorie. Is that Mallorie?
that's me.
Oh, there's Mallorie. Okay, who's the other lady? Was that
Oh,
Jill?
that's me. I'm Jill.
Okay.
And
And
I'm
then
Jordan.
Jordan. Hey, Jordan. All right. Are y'all communicating out of Texas right now?
Hmm.
Okay, that's where you record, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about Frieren. So, what's special or unique about this show, in
Well,
your opinion?
I'll start off. I think the way that the story is told is particularly unique. I think the fact that it's set after the big event that most media would focus in on is something that you don't see very often in anime or in many modern media properties. And so, what happens after you defeat the big bad? And that's sort of the premise of the series. And so, seeing the characters and the lives that they lead and the journey that they're on after the big event, to me, makes it a unique story that you don't see very often.
Okay.
Um, One thing that I think about Frieren that kind of gives it a broad appeal, of course, the story is amazing, but sometimes with anime or, dubbing something from another country, it doesn't always translate well to like a Western audience. But I think the fantasy setting and just the characters are they all feel so real. It doesn't feel like you're watching a cartoon or anything like that. Like it just feels very real, and that's why I feel like it resonates with a lot of people all around the world. I say my parents do not watch anime; they don't watch cartoons, but they watched Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and they loved it. Um, so I really appreciate that about the show.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Mallory and Jill. I think one of the things that makes the show unique is just how relatable it is to everybody. A lot of people can see themselves or put themselves like into these characters' shoes and see like the little quirks that they have, or like the things that they might struggle with. I also got to give credit to the English director Jade. The performances that we're trying to give in this show for the English dub are a little bit more grounded, and almost a little bit more cinematic, if you will. And I think that has just helped in making the show even more relatable to the audience, because they're sitting there going, hey, like I really can see myself in this. I struggle with this, or I deal with that. And I just think that that's what's made it so beautiful, and it's made it something that people can really grasp onto and say, hey, like this is something that I really enjoy watching.
What inspires you each about each of your characters?
Oh, I mean, for Frieren, she's been alive for 1,000 years or so, and yet she still is able to learn and grow. And I mean, I think that's remarkable. Even as I've gotten older, I have become more set in my ways, and so having the open mind that she does to be able to learn from the people around her, the relationships that she develops, and to almost become more human-like, to learn about human emotion and relationships and interactions. I think it's so admirable that she still continues to prioritize growth and learning, even after 1,000 years.
What I think is so fascinating about Fern is in certain ways she comes across as very mature. She's the one that wakes up on time, the one that does the budgeting, all of that stuff. But in many other areas, she is very stunted and childish, and so you have that kind of a paradox of mature but childish, and just kind of watching her grow and kind of bridge that gap and become more comfortable with herself and become more of like a full, well-rounded person. as her magic grows, she grows as a person, and I think that's just been really fascinating, and I've really enjoyed portraying that.
For me, it's just Stark with his self-esteem. He was part of a clan, and his father did not necessarily treat him the best. He felt constantly weak. The only person who really treated him well was his older brother. So dealing with the idea that he was just this good for nothing coward who always ran away, and he would amount to nothing, because he was just always scared. And then seeing other people's opinions of him, and them seeing his value when he himself couldn't see it. I thought that that was really something special, especially because people do deal with self-esteem issues and whatnot. So I've enjoyed seeing his growth as a character. We still get little moments of him not really seeing himself as this strong warrior, but we have seen him grow in, hey, I'm going to be loyal. Hey, I'm going to take care of my party. And I think that he is slowly starting to, see what Frieren and Fern see in him.
Well, the name is spelled Stark, but it's pronounced Stark. Why
Correct.
is that?
It's a German pronunciation.
Okay, so that comes across in the Japanese too, I would imagine. Okay. Um, let's see. Do you guys listen to the Japanese performance first, or do you have creative leeway in delivering your own performance for the characters?
So we always preview the Japanese before we come in. Sometimes we'll preview the whole scene in Japanese. Sometimes we'll just preview segments of the scene, but we do work very closely off of the original Japanese language.
Okay. Now, I'm just wondering, the general performances are kind of low key. It's like the voices are all calm. There's almost a stage whisper at that point. And it's like, what is the rationale behind that?
I believe it's just more so a like a different style, it's we're going for a bit more of like a grounded cinematic style for the show, because the show, does is a show that deals with, heavier themes, and it's a show that deals with time, and it's kind of taken its time. And it was just something that I got to give credit to our head director for the English dub, Jade Saxton. That was when we go into record, she would tell us, hey, like, this is kind of the mood that we want to go for the show. So we would go in and we would just play.
Well, Mallory, what do
I,
you
I
say? Because you're particularly low key in your performance.
Yeah, I took a lot of inspiration from Frieren's Japanese seiyuu because Frieren is a very emotionally nuanced character. She's quite stoic and almost reserved, but then as the series progresses, you start to see her open up more and experience more joy, whether it's getting stuck in a mimic, finding a trinket or a grimoire that she can collect, or even, in season two, we start to see her experience more joy through the relationships and situations that they find themselves in. So it's been a really fun journey to sort of see the character open up more and be able to play a bit more with the emotion as we move into season two.
Okay, I want to ask each of you in character to say hi to your fans or give a message to your fans. Since this is on video, get into character and speak out for your fans.
Hey, sorry, Bob. We actually can't have them recite words in their voices outside of lines in the show. So I'm
Okay,
sure
in
we
their
could ask them
opinion, then, in their
to.
opinion, as actors, what do they, as actors, want to tell the fans?
I would say, hi, Frieren fans. You're the best. We love talking with you, meeting you out at conventions, and hearing what you have to say on Frieren Fridays when you watch the show. Thank you for being so supportive of the series, and I'm excited for what's to come for the party.
I love the fan base. I love all the fan art. I love all of the memes. I just think it's a really fun community, and it's so cool to see people connect over this show. Like all of us who are working on it, we're incredibly passionate about it, and to see that, you know, translate, and to see other folks so passionate about it as well. The passion is contagious, and that's so lovely. Like that's why I do my job. I want to spread joy, and so I'm just really happy that it is resonating with folks. Thank you for watching.
Thank you guys so much. It's been an honor being the English voice of Stark. Um, I love meeting you guys at conventions. I love seeing all the things online that you guys are posting. I love the fact that you guys are watching. It's such an incredible show, and I can see your passion. I can feel, you know, the love that you guys truly have for this property, for this show, and it's incredible. Like, thank you.